Let's talk about Jimmy Garoppolo. Doesn't it seem like the Jimmy Garoppolo era ended today unofficially? I mean, they tried to give him excuses and said he's still hurt. Whatever. They saw him in practice all week and said he was good to go. He didn't look hurt today. He looked exactly like he looked week one, which was terrible. Jimmy Garoppolo's issue is that he can't move. Ever since he tore his ACL, he can't move. And it seems to me, and in 2020, if you have a quarterback who can't move, you're not going anywhere. Offensive line play has gotten terrible. Defensive line play has gotten really good. And if you're just a statue back there, where are you going? Nowhere. That's Jimmy. Jimmy is a guy who is past his prime. He's not even 2 full seasons into his career, and he's past his prime. His prime ended the minute he tore his ACL in Kansas City. All the athleticism and confidence he had in 2017 is gone. He goes behind that offensive line and looks no better than Nick Mullins. The interceptions today were just as bad as Mullins, if not worse. I mean, he wasn't taking hits when he threw those balls. He just looks like he has the yips. Like, unless he's facing the Jets, he's unsure of himself. He's not good. Now, I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback because, look, I don't think any quarterback's going to play well behind this line. Not Brady, not Breeze. It's a terrible line. But Jimmy, they're paying him way too much money to keep leaving games at halftime because he's hurt. Past 2 games, he couldn't make it past halftime. Tom Brady doesn't miss games. He's 43, 44. He makes it through games. So he's not durable. He doesn't read defenses well. Doesn't have a big arm. Not mobile. And he's extremely expensive. Now, the Niners are at the point where they need to find a quarterback next year. They need to already be scouting. John Lynch right now needs to be on his computer looking at quarterbacks who will be available in the first round and free agents and guys he could trade for. I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots have already called him and been like, so what do you think of Jimmy? You still want him? We'll take him. We'll give you a 3rd. Hey, a 4th. What do you say? We'll give you a 4th right now for Jimmy Garoppolo. Guys, the Niners believed in this guy because of 7 starts in 2017 and 1 good year last year where he was like, had led the league in yards after catch. I mean, the Niners were so arrogant about their quarterback situation. Now they have no quarterbacks on the team who are worth anything right now. They demoted Nick Mullins. C.J. Beathard's worthless, and Jimmy Garoppolo is going down the drain. They haven't drafted a quarterback since 2017, since Beathard. Beathard shouldn't be on this team. He stinks. He hasn't improved. He's been wasting a roster spot for 3 years. Imagine if the Niners had gotten – I understand keeping Mullins. He's shown things. He's won 4 games in the league. Garoppolo, too. He's won a lot of games. Not Beathard. They could have got rid of him years ago and drafted other guys. They could have Jared Stidham right now, backup for the Patriots. Instead, they drafted a freaking punter because everything was so great. They were so set up for future success. They drafted a punter. Could have had. I'm not saying Stidham's great, but they need as many talented quarterbacks as possible to develop because they don't have them. They're developing CJ. What's to develop? There's no talent there. His talent is taking hits. He's a human crash test dummy. He's been on this team. This is 4th season. Kyle, Jimmy. So the Niners don't have a franchise quarterback. Now they got to go into the draft next year. They need a corner. They need a quarterback. Is this Super Bowl window totally shut? How do they reload? And they don't have cap space. They need to find a quarterback, a guy who can move, and a guy who doesn't cost $27 million a year. Tough place to be in, right? And to think just 2 weeks ago after the Niners beat the Giants, we were thinking Super Bowl contenders. You know, we've learned a lot and Jed York's learned a lot. It's not as easy as throwing money at a bunch of people who've had 1 winning season. It's not that simple. That doesn't give you sustained success.